What transformed a fledgling 13-colony republic into the world's sole superpower in just 2 centuries? Imagine a land shielded by 2 oceans, endowed with vast resources and driven by relentless ambition. This is America's story of geographic fortune, industrial might, and strategic resolve. Next, the young nation found itself cradled between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. This natural barrier insulated it from major power struggles abroad. Within its borders stretched fertile plains and untapped minerals. Together, these assets formed a secure foundation for rapid economic and industrial expansion. Then, following the Civil War, between 1865 and 1898, America launched into its own industrial revolution. Railways snaked across the continent, factories rose in booming cities, and steel production soared. By the mid-1880s, the United States had overtaken Britain as the world's leading producer of steel and manufactured goods. This explosive growth fueled wealth, innovation, and global confidence. Immigrants flocked to American cities, fueling a labor force that powered factories day and night. Entrepreneurial spirit and technological breakthroughs, from the telegraph to electricity, further accelerated growth. Following that surge in economic power, the United States entered World War I in 1917. Its mainland remained untouched by conflict, even as it supplied troops and resources to embattled allies. When the guns fell silent, America stepped forward as Europe's new big brother, championing Reconstruction. Financial capital flowed to New York, and the global economic center began shifting away from London. America financed Reconstruction through massive loans and the Dawes Plan, cementing its role as creditor to war-torn European nations. This financial leadership marked a turning point in world affairs. Then, as war erupted across Europe and Asia, America first supplied vast quantities of weapons and material, standing apart from the initial conflict. By mid-war, it had amassed roughly 70% of the world's gold reserves, a testament to its economic strength. In 1945, the deployment of atomic bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki underscored its unprecedented military might and heralded the dawn of a new world order. American industry mobilized millions of workers and converted civilian factories into war plants. Lend-lease shipments sustained allies in peril, demonstrating how economic capacity could become strategic power. In 1944, Allied leaders convened at Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to shape post-war finance. They founded the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. More importantly, they anchored global trade and lending to the US dollar. This arrangement elevated the greenback into the world's dominant reserve currency, cementing America's financial leadership and extending its influence far beyond the battlefield. The Marshall Plan soon followed, directing billions into European recovery and reinforcing dollar hegemony through rebuilding efforts. US financial aid became a geopolitical instrument. Next came a new arena of confrontation. In 1947, President Truman announced his doctrine to contain Soviet expansion and protect democracies worldwide. For decades, that ideological rivalry defined global politics. The United States maintained alliances, raced to the moon, and built up its military presence to counter the Soviet threat. Through NATO and mutual defense pacts, the United States wove a web of alliances stretching from Western Europe to East Asia. Cultural diplomacy and technological rivalry, from jazz tours to nuclear submarines, underscored this global standoff. Finally, in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed under economic strain and political upheaval. With its rival gone, America stood alone at the summit of world power, unchallenged and undisputed. Today, the United States retains its global edge through economic diversity and an unparalleled military footprint. More than 800 bases span every inhabited continent, projecting influence from remote islands to major capitals. Its innovation ecosystems continue to shape technology, finance, and culture worldwide. What began as a new nation seeking security and prosperity evolved into a unipolar superpower guided by geography, industry, and strategic vision. This journey reminds us how resources and resolve forge historic change. Every alliance and investment stamped America's influence across continents. Join us as we explore the forces that shape our world tomorrow. Subscribe for more history insights.